This has been a week where everything has gone wrong. Oh no, rather something has gone wrong every single day. You'll have to forgive me, I'm a little mixed up now. I've done this intro like 3 times already. Cause my laptop is acting stupid. I turned it on. Cause I need to look at something to make a video. Since I'm turning my camera on anyways, I'm gonna make a video for fan perspective. But as soon as I turned it on, it was like, we have to install updates, close everything, or you'll lose your work, which I've ignored that message before, and I lost a lot of my shit. So I'm not going to ignore it this time. And then it's telling me, well, we can't restart because this one app refuses to close. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then, long story short, I had 2 videos that were about 20 minutes of just me trying to deal with my computer. So, oh, I forgot to tell you. Actually, no, I told you in the first video, and then my computer started being stupid. But, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there's this huge cut on my finger, and it kind of like wraps around. And I've actually got cuts on 3 fingers that happen simultaneously, because this is something that has never happened to me before, ever. There was something similar, but not quite this, where a plate literally exploded in my hand. Not even joking, it completely exploded. Like I had it in my hands, and I'm like, what? Holding it up with one hand, wiping it down with this, and then just shatters to pieces, goes flying in different directions. And it's only something like that has happened to me once before, but not that bad. You know, with that one, I was holding it up and washing, and then half of it just fell off, and that was it. But this one, not even, it actually exploded, and I got shrapnel in 3 different fingers. I'm like, damn, this is the end of the night. Like, we're almost out of here. And my computer's being slow again. I don't know why it's acting so stupid. Hold on. But yeah, because like one of the managers was standing behind me talking to me when it happened. And I'm just going like, fuck, what the? And just run over to the sink, start washing my hands because there's just a lot of blood, and I need to be able to see where it's coming from because I've worked minimum wage for too much of my life. You know, this isn't a time for panicking. I think a lot of people, when you get a piece of glass in your finger, so many of them would go to the emergency room, and I'm just like, nah, rip that glass out, wash it off, tape my finger up, get my ass back to work. So yeah, this thumb hurts like hell. The other 2, like, it hurts if you bang it against something, but for the most part, the wounds have closed up. You know, you can tell that it's healing. There is a big difference from one day to the next. But yeah, a lot of shit has gone wrong. Like, it's been raining basically every day since September started. This week it stopped. But then a lot of other things going on. Like, we had enchiladas. Love enchiladas. And they were made by my favorite cook. Is he the best? Well, there's an argument to be made there. But he's my favorite because he knows my taste. Like, we have similar taste buds. And so he'll always make my favorite meals. And he made enchiladas, which is highly in demand. And the other manager took them to Kimura, the neighbor restaurant. And it pissed me the fuck off. Because there have been times when I showed up to work at 3 o'clock and family meal was already on the table. It was already done, ready to eat at 3. And then 6 o'clock, it's still up there. Yet this time, they didn't even pull it out of the oven until like 4:20. It was like 4:15, 4:20. I didn't look at the time exactly, but I was sweeping the dining room, you know, which I'm I was done with, and so I swept the dining room. I went and mopped the dining room. Usually takes me about 15 minutes, and then I finished around 4:40. I go there to get my food, and it's gone, and I'm like, where? What? Why? What the fuck? Seriously, it was up there for like 20 damn minutes, and he's just like, well, I guess everyone's eating then. Doesn't even bother to ask, and just takes it over to them. And I'm rushing over there, because I gotta make sure I get me some of this shit, because I know it's gonna taste good. Because Fred's tamales are always off the chain. And it pissed me the fuck off. Because part of me was like, we made a mistake, you get none of this, and just take it all back. Because I would have taken every last ounce of that home. But no, it's already over there. They know it exists. Someone might make a fuss and get me in trouble. So then later that day, when that manager tells me, oh, I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks, blah, blah, blah. I don't even... He probably told me why, and I just stopped caring. Because after he said, I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks, I was like, yes! Fuck you, you tamale stealer. I'm glad your ass is out. Oh, enchiladas. Have I been saying tamales this whole time? It was enchiladas. I'm tired. It's 1:30 in the morning, and it says it's working on updates, but it's stuck at 30%. And now it's frozen completely, and now the screen is blue, and there are no words, but the mouse works. It's been a frustrating week. You know, funny enough, every week I sit here and I talk about things, you know, just basically whatever crosses my mind throughout a normal week, I'll just jot down a note, just write a few keywords and phrases on my phone, and then Saturday night I get home, I just quickly skim through it, create a brief, like, script in my head, do this, then do this, then do that, sometimes still having to reference back to my phone. And so anytime you see me staring down, more than likely I'm staring at my phone. Though there's also a 50-50 chance I'm just falling asleep because I'm tired. Yeah. Last week I actually mentioned that I had a conversation with some people where they're telling me like, oh, about my writing, you know, you need to do better in order to do this and blah, 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 this, that. And I just need to let you know that I lied. Like, legitimately, I straight up lied when I said that other people told me this. Because it still sounds weird to say out loud that my imaginary friends told me this. That I had a conversation with my imaginary friends, and that they shouted at me, and that it led to a revelation, because they're telling me, no, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what you need to do. Because, like, I know I'm crazy, I'm used to that, but I also know that, you know, I don't feel weird about talking out loud to my imaginary friends and getting called out on my bullshit by some people that aren't there, that no one else can see or hear. But I still realize it's not necessarily mainstream in the real world. So if I talk about that too much, feel like, you know, someone's gonna come to my house with a straitjacket, try to take me away. So I lied and said some other writer had told me to do that. Well, actually, no, I don't think I specified anyone who said to do it. I just said someone told me, which technically it's true, except that somebody was me, technically, if you think about it, since these imaginary friends are all figments in my head. But still, it's interesting and weird to, like, see somebody and you know that technically they don't exist, but still, you get to have a conversation with them, and they reveal truths that you never would have understood on your own. Which technically it's kind of, I mean, there's a whole argument there. Once again, like, I know technically it's me saying this to myself, but whatever. See, this is why I didn't want to mention this shit. But you want honesty, you got it. Actually, do you want honesty? I don't know. I never asked what you wanted. Why do you people watch this? Seriously, I am not that interesting. But anyways, uh, I'm feeling like a lean back right now. Much better. I'm just gonna stay here. I just can't. It takes work to sit up straight, so I'm just chilling for the rest of it now. All right. I'm tired. So the reason I brought up the whole thing is because like last week I talked about how I need to do much better with like descriptive writing, and how I realized that like so technically someone told me like, but I said someone told me when technically it was me realizing. No, let's not go into semantics. Last week I told you that somebody told me like to in order to get my shit sold I gotta do 10 times better than Anna Kendrick did. But now, something else interesting that I was having a discussion, an actual discussion. I went online to a writing forum and I had a discussion with people where I just discussed the fact that, no, I phrased it incorrectly at first and got attacked. No, after time to think about it, I realized what it is I was saying. Is that as a black person, I feel like there is this expectation that I'm supposed to write black stories for black people, full of black characters, and it bothers me a little bit. Cause me in general, like if a character is based off of someone, like someone I know or like some TV show or whatever that I watched, then the race will be whoever that person was that it's based off of. But in general, I don't really stop to think about it, especially not on the rough draft. Cause I just and my first goal is to just write a good character. A character that the audience will either love or hate depending on what I need for them for this story. But I just Italian, but like I never feel like I have to make my characters black. And from time to time, not every single time and not every single person, but from time to time, there have been moments when I'm talking with somebody in real life and, the subject comes up, and, like, they know I'm a writer and they're like, we're talking about stories or whatever. And if I ever mention that a character isn't black, then they're like, huh, really? And that just annoys the living hell out of me. But after having this conversation with other people, I realize, like, I don't know. I feel like being black, it's something that I am, but I never really felt like it was part of my identity per se. Like for one thing, in middle school and high school, a lot of people kept telling me how white I was, which is weird because a lot of this was coming from the Hispanic people I know, telling me, "Oh, you're the whitest black guy I've ever met," just because like I grew up in the suburbs watching Seventh Heaven, listening to the Backstreet Boys. Then we lost our money and moved to a trailer park where everybody grew up watching Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, listening to Tupac. It was just a whole different culture from what I was used to. But for me, like me being black, I never saw it as a downside. Because something that someone pointed out to me, which I never thought of, which is that apparently it's kind of a given, or at least it's accepted as truth, that if you don't specifically mention the race of a character in your writing, then that they're automatically white, which I've never actually thought that way. I've heard it mentioned multiple times, but honestly, if someone does not go specifically out of their way to say that a person is this or that, in general, the main character ends up looking exactly like me. If they're talking about, oh, he walks in the room, Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome, and that's the only description they give of the character, guess what? I imagine myself, except tall and handsome. So, yeah, just so many of my characters, like, oh, this guy's got muscles. Well, if that's all they say, I'm picturing The Rock. Pure and simple. But yeah, just it's for me. It never felt like that. But there are other black people who, for them, they've thought of that. We don't read about characters that look like us. We don't see characters on TV that look like us. But for me, I grew up, like I said, I was the only black guy in my class for most of my life. Like, I just got used to that. I think that there's usually only like two or three black guys in my whole grade most of the time. So like I got used to only being the only black guy in the classroom. I got used to, oh, you turn on the TV, there's only one black guy in the class. I just figured that was the way it was. I didn't stop to think about whether or not I should be upset. The only time it ever really bothered me was, wanting to play Power Rangers, and people would be like, but you be the Black Ranger, but I want to be the Green Ranger. No, you be the Black Ranger. Can I be the Red Ranger? No, we need you to be the Black Ranger. I will be the Pink Ranger if I have to, but then who will be the Black Ranger? But like, I didn't go home and cry because the kids were being mean to me. I just said, fuck you, I'm hanging out with someone else. And I found different friends who would let me be the Green and Red Ranger for every now and then. Oh, I was the kid that I would be like, I'll be Superman, and someone would be like, but you can't be Superman. Superman's white. And I would just say, that sounds like something Lex Luthor would say, and just punch him in the face. Like, that was me. It didn't bother me. I didn't know that I was supposed to be bothered by it. But, like I said, then again, I'm really fucking weird. And as I got older, other issues just ended up being a bigger deal. Like the fact that I was abused at home. And just, the fact that I got beat up at home, I got beat up at school. I felt so alone and nowhere hopeless. My whole life just went to shit. Being treated bad because I was black wasn't on my mind. I was being treated bad because I was born. I didn't think of any one specific factor to it. The person who gave birth to me tried to choke me to death because I didn't want to go to church. So, I guess, being upset about having a bad life, there were more factors to it than just, oh, life sucks because I'm black. So for me, it's just never been an issue I thought about. I see that there's inequality. I see that, black people are definitely treated badly. But it's never been the thing I thought about the most. I think about child abuse. I think about, sexuality. Sexuality is something that, I never thought about it until it happened to me. I don't know if I've talked about it on this channel, but I was bi-curious for 2.5 years in high school. Never once questioned if I liked girls. That was never in doubt. I love women. I prefer to date women. I prefer to be friends with women. I prefer that my boss be women. I prefer that my coworkers be women. I prefer that my subscribers be women. Just in general, I just love females. Men are disgusting. I hate every single one of us. That's right, I said us because I'm including me. I am technically a man, although most of the people who knew me in middle school would disagree. But, I'm a man and I hate myself, so there we go. Man, honestly, men are just horrible creatures. I don't know, I've always been more comfortable in estrogen-rich environments. I'm not sure what it is. But, somewhere along the way, enough people kept calling me fag and gay and stuff. It was meant as an insult, but something at some point in time I was like, am I? There are definitely times when I can look at a man and say, he's attractive. Eventually I came to the realization that I should have known all along, which is that, as long as I'm disgusted by penises, I don't think I can ever be a gay man, or even bisexual. I don't even want to look at my own penis. I can't even stand the thought of seeing another dude's. I think I've gone my entire life without ever looking at another man's penis. This includes being in a room where multiple guys are taking showers. Do not look down. Just waist up all the time. Eye contact, baby. Eye contact. Don't even tilt your head. If someone shorter than you is talking to you, just look at the ceiling. Like, yo, bro, what's up? Yeah, I know where you is, though. I'm just saying. But I bring it up because I did have people who treated me differently, and it was a weird feeling. Because, and I was just saying, like, hey, I think I might be bi. And then suddenly someone that I thought was a friend was just like, no fags allowed. And we just haven't said a word to each other since. And that just, like, it hurt to hear that. No one's ever said, you dumb nigga, you'll never amount to anything. So I guess, I don't know, I've had a different life than a lot of other people. It's just, I think of all the social issues I could tackle, like, being black just doesn't mean that much to me. And I know it probably sounds weird to say that, but it's just not, like I said, I think it's just because of the experiences I've had. I've never learned it doesn't mean much to me, not as much as, like, child abuse and mental illness and, sexuality, things like that. Like, black is important, but it's not even top 3. I don't know, it's weird, I get it. That's the life I've lived, that's the person I am, I realized something this week. I don't want a girlfriend. And I've been thinking about it all this time. Because what I want is to know that I'm loved. Because all my life, I've kind of felt like, no matter how much people say they care about me, like, I've never been the most important person in anyone's life. All of my relatives, they love my sister more. Every teacher, I'm just one more kid in that class. All the students, hey, I'm pretty sure most of the people I went to school with have probably forgotten I existed by now. Every friend I've ever had, no matter how close we were, they had someone else. They had other friends they cared about more. They had boyfriends and girlfriends. Now some of them have husbands and wives and kids. Everyone's got other people that are more important. And I guess that's the main reason why relationships were important to me, because I kind of wanted somebody that I knew would always be there, would love me unconditionally, that I was always the most important person in their life. And that's when I realized I don't need a girlfriend, I need a dog. I don't know if this is the right time or the right apartment, but, like, I feel like I just need to get a damn dog. And that'll solve half of my issues. I mean, I think they do have emotional support dogs. So, maybe an investment worth looking into when I get rich enough to afford somebody to take care of them when I don't feel like going for a walk. Dogs are a lot of work. But yeah, I'm working on a new song. I've been working on it for this past couple of days. Just had a random feeling of inspiration. I was actually listening to the 98 Degrees song. 98 Degrees, Why Are We Still Friends? And honestly, I like the song, but I have issues with it. And so I was listening and thinking, like, I've written a lot of songs like this, but, like, I want to write this song, but better. And so I started working on a new song called Why. 2 days later, I've got, one... I've got 2 verses and a couple different versions of the chorus. And so I think this could end up being one of those songs that years from now I'm still like revering as one of my best because just because of how much work I'm already putting into this shit. 2 days and I still need like another verse and a new chorus. It depends on the song, but there have been times when, like, literally, it took 4 minutes to write down a song. Just write down everything I feel. Boom. And it was one of my favorites. At least my favorite from a particular genre or something. Yeah, I feel like this song, just, like, because of the effort I'm putting into it, it's gonna be good. I'm really tired and my throat hurts. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave you with this note. Everyone talks about like, oh, he's fight clubbing himself, right? Because of that scene where like he beat his own ass. Jim Carrey did that in Liar Liar 2 years before that. Just pointing that shit out. Because Fight Club was 99, Liar Liar was 97, and in Liar Liar, there's a scene where Jim Carrey is in the bathroom alone and he beats the shit out of himself. And when someone walks in the door, they say, "What are you doing?" And he says, "What does it look like? I'm kicking my ass." And then when he goes back to the courtroom, and the guy's like, "Oh, I found him in the bathroom like that." And he's like, they're like, "Who did this to you?" "Oh, Caucasian male, about 6 feet tall." Giving a vague description of himself. And he's able to get a recess, so he has more time to prepare his case and whatnot. So why does everyone keep saying, "Oh, he's fight clubbing himself," when Fight Club was clearly not the first one to do it? And I'm not even going to say Liar Liar was the first to do it, because there might have been others before that. But Liar Liar definitely did it at least 2 years before Fight Club. Same thing with like The Matrix. Everyone says, oh, doing The Matrix with like, oh, the slow-mo dodging bullets. But Blade did that before The Matrix did. Just watch the original Blade movie. They were like one. Anyways, my nose is stuffed. My throat is sore, and I'm working on a new story involving dragons and orcs and a peasant and a prince. And it's a long weekend ahead. Oh, they're over there, so I can't get it. I bought a new speaker online. It should be at the office now. It said it was delivered Wednesday around noon, but I was home at Wednesday around noon. No knock on my door. No packages left on the door. So most likely that new speaker is at home. I've got a couple of different ones. One of them I already threw away. One of them, this All-Tech Baby Boom. It's giving me issues. Like, I've had this only a few weeks, I think. Like, I'm still struggling to find the perfect speaker. And by perfect, I mean it doesn't break. But yeah, I bought one. I'll show it to you next week. But I bought it specifically for battery life and because it had a 2-year warranty, which cost like $2. So yeah, $2 for a 2-year guarantee. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good with that. So we'll see, because I'm tired of speakers and shit breaking. I finally found the pair of headphones that doesn't break on me. Boom. JBL wireless. I'm happy with those. We're sticking with it. But I just need the right Bluetooth. Come to think of it, does JBL make Bluetooth? I should have just gone straight to JBL, shouldn't I? Actually, no. One of the things I used was JBL, wasn't it? Maybe not. We'll see. We'll just, like I said, I bought a new one that has a 2-year warranty, so hopefully that one should be good. Also, I haven't played Madden in over a month just because my controller was messing up. So I bought like 3 new ones for $14 at Light in the Box. if you've never been to that website, just give it a check. You can find some really quality shit on the cheap. Light in the box. Like, depending on where you go, some PlayStation controllers can be $20-$30. I got 3 of them for $14. Light in the box. Check it out. Not a sponsor. I just really enjoy it. Jet.com, if you've never looked at it before. Those are 2 of my favorite online shopping places. And until next week, I forgot my outro. Good night.